The first book I thought maybe we'd do today is one called Tell Her Stars. There is no published book of verse. I'm not known in Anglesey, but Dwan and Laurel heard my voice. That's a world to me. Tell her stars. Where are you, stars? Why are you hiding out of sight? I want to look into her eyes. I want to tell her I remember. Tell her, stars. Tell her if you see my love tonight. That poem was written for Verity. This one was written for Margaret.
Phil.
Mountain Love Song. I see you in the aspen trees and in the morning sun. Your voice is on the gentle breeze that comes when day is done. Your face is in the mountain flowers and in the mountain streams. You hold me in my waking hours, and you are in my dreams. Come stay with me, girl of my dreams, and you and I will sing of streams and flowers and golden hours and winter turn to spring. This is called Love's Lesson Learned. If you have loved someone with all your heart and then have lost her, you are full of tears, for every time you could have danced with her or could have said, I love you. And though you know she knew and understood, it hurts to know you left these things undone. And now, with you, another chance, and love I will remember. I don't mind the cloudy days if you are there. Sunshine comes on cloudy days if you are there. Sunshine lights my darkened ways, dark and dreary turn to fair, and all my days are sunny days if you are there. All my troubles go away if you are there. February turns to May if you are there. Flowers greet me on my way. The sound of music fills the air, and every day's a golden day if you are there. What's in a name? When I turned in to you and I was still my name. But then I changed to you and I, no spaces in between. And now my name has been revoked, and I am I again. A name euphonious enough, but not the same. For it's a diminished thing, like a minor part of a remembered song playing in the heart. Eagle Rock Shelter, Gunnison River. This is a ancient dwelling on the Gunnison River, about 8 miles as a crow flies southeast of Cedaredge. You standing by this river looking at the stars, 8,000 years before the pyramids or Stonehenge, did you reach out to touch his hand at night? Did you weep when he didn't come home from that last hunt? Across 13,000 years, I reach out to touch your hand as I stand by your river under your stars. Floating leaves. All these I still remember. The river road in fall, the hickory trees, a pawpaw, sumac, hazelnuts, all these. The breath of fields and woodlands in October, the glassy lake, the floating leaves, and you. All these I still remember. That's about my home in Michiana at the border of Michigan and Indiana. And remembering my mother taking me out into the woods and naming all of the trees in the fall. All these I still remember. This one's called Margaret and Verity. Counting over 90, still might be a few, thinking some of heaven, things I'd want to do if we were there together, if I were there with you. I think I see some cottonwoods, a grassy place below, someone reaching out to me. It's you. I know. I feel you holding close to me. We danced the whole night through to all the songs I left undanced, but wish I danced with you. I feel the music now. It seems I hear it in a dream. Heaven is someplace with you. Somewhere we have been.
Phil, do you have a Kleenex?
This one's called Truth. I cut the fetters of my mind so truth could set me free. But truth came stealing in the night, and it has captured me. Free is just another word for lonely as can be. So willing, I am bound by it, this truth, this verity. Of course, verity means truth. Memory of Keweenaw. It's a dark and dreary day. I hope it snows and snows and snows. I'd like to be snowed in. Not just me, of course. There'd be you too. That's why I'd like to be snowed in. Snow would be halfway up the windows. No one could get in. We have food, maybe a little wine and a fire and each other. That's enough. I hope it snows. This is September Flowers. It was written when Margaret was in the hospital in September. The sun comes up and hope arises with it. Like a flower that through the night in darkness lay, the sunlight wakes the colors in my spirit and says again that darkness will not stay. When melancholy tries to fill my hours and sadness wants to steal my soul away, how will they cope with you, September flowers? how can they win against this golden day? Verity in autumn. Two paths converged, and we're here, old in years, and yet not old. Two hearts to know, four hands to hold. Come, put your hand on my hand, dear, and we will share the golden hours and tell each other of lost loves. And we will be like turtle doves side by side in leafy bowers, bound by love, but free as air. When you reach out and touch my hand, love, I will know you understand. And when you need me, I'll be there. This is Amor Ardiente Waltz. Verdi had a CD of New Mexico folk music. And sometimes we would get in the kitchen and dance. And Amor Ardiente Waltz and the other songs on that CD didn't have words. So I wrote these words to the Amor Ardiente Waltz as played by the Jenny Vincent Trio. Listen, it's Amor Ardiente. Do you hear it? It's part of the night. Come dance as we did in our springtime, young again, if you just hold me tight. What are my years if you love me? What if our hair is all white? Come hold me, come hold me, come love me. The music calls in the night. Do you hear the Amor Ardiente as it drifts through the cottonwood trees? Come twirl to Amor Ardiente. The music soft as a breeze. To escuchas el Amor Ardiente, we'll dance the whole night through. To the music of Amor Ardiente. Mi Amor Ardiente, eres tú. In the memory wing, there was an old Japanese lady. She had been brought to America as a war bride after World War II. Sometimes she would just weep. And of course, I didn't know what she was thinking of when she wept. But one day, as I was playing the harmonica, she started to weep. And afterward, I thought about it and I wrote this haiku. It's a Japanese poetry form with five syllables in the first and last third verses and 7 in the middle verse. Sounds stop to listen. Music asks the stars for help when Yoshiko weeps. I found out later that Yoshiko was a best friend of the mother of Kathleen Ray, who's one who keeps Main Street beautiful here in Cedaredge. Melancholy air. When every breath is melancholy air, I look inside and ask my soul to sing some song it knows, some long forgotten thing remembered by the Holy Spirit's there. A song that somehow hid itself away, or one that someone left there on the chance that in its resurrection, Also they themselves might rise again to sing and dance. And then my spirit sings, not mine alone, but also those who to my soul belong. And time and cares are for the moment gone. And if I listen, I hear only song. If time should come and steal my memories, if you look in my eyes and cannot see, if something takes away my yesterdays, play these my songs and know you're hearing me. And if by chance I hear the melodies, the faithful sun may now and then break through, and I will feel the warmth that used to be, and in remembered song, remember you. This is called Pearly Girls. If I had pearls for all the girls who live here in my heart, I'd hide a pearl in every curl, and then I'd play the part a diver plays in finding pearls, and search in every whirl. And if I found one hiding there, I'd claim what was my due, and kiss the girl who had the pearl. I hope it will be you. Leftover love. Dear to our hearts are other loves. Dear the memories. Dear to us the things they touched. Our hearts melt seeing these. Dear are the years they shared with us. Time will not sweep away the memories of youth and love. These things will stay. But love, we too are left alone, and there's love to give. So put your wrinkled hand in mine, and we will love and live. Lonesome Cowboy. A soft summer breeze from the Yampa swept o'er me. The memories it brought almost too much to bear. But just when it seemed that my life was behind me, I turned around and saw you standing there. What breezes from Yampa, what breezes from Baca found a poor cowboy lonesome and blue. Girl from Two Buttes, girl from the Yampa, what did I do to deserve such as you? Breezes from Yampa, breezes from Baca, breeze in the valley where wild waters flow. What does it matter that most is behind me? No matter the number, the years overflow. And this is a poem by Hannah Watts, who used to help Verity in the garden and in the house, and who's a wonderful girl. It's called Her Name Was Truth. Somewhere in the Colorado plains she grew from a seed that was dropped there by the queen of the world. When I met her, she was almost old. She made bread in the fire and spoke poetry in defiance in an unhurried rhythm. She laughed out loud at the jokes chirped to her by the grasshoppers and bee-balm flowers in the garden. They loved her so much they chose to grow old with her. She didn't wear a bra because she didn't want a bra, and she didn't cuss too much because she was a lady. Did she make moonshine, or did she make the moonshine? Both. Her name was a sword, and her compliment a jewel that I still keep in my pocket to admire on the nights when I wonder if I will ever be anything like her. This is called Sunset. When my last sun is set, do these two things for me. Raise a glass to Margaret and one to Verity. And one more favor yet. I want no eulogy, but he was loved by Margaret and he was loved by Verity. And then there are 4 poems that really go with the first book we read, which was called Love Song, and they got cut out for some reason. The first one is a poem by Verity called Petal Fall. Verity knew that if an apple tree was under stress, it might blossom in the fall. That autumn, the old apple tree, split by storms, gnarled and twisted, only half its limbs alive and leafy, blossomed in a fairy froth. In my mirror, an old woman bears the mark of passing storms, of passing seasons. But as you entered the door, at the sound of your voice, a shower of petals falls softly. I think that's a wonderful poem. She had to know about apple trees to know that they might blossom in the fall. And she had to know about an old woman. And she had to know about love. But to put them all together, I remember you. Do you remember me? Do you remember how it used to be when we would look at starry skies in the starlight, holding tight? Love, look at the stars tonight. Do you feel me looking in your eyes? In every star, remember me. Oh, I remember you. Your words, your touch, your eyes. Every shadow on your lovely face. The endless measure of your gifts of grace. The starry nights you lying near. Nothing changes. You are here. Oh, I remember you. This one is called Old Love. I loved Margaret. And when I lost her, I was lonesome. And after a year or so, I went to Verity and I said, do you want a companion? And she surprised me and said, yes. But nothing physical, she said. And I said, sure, because I was lonesome. And that's how it was for a while. But then there were the stars. Verity could see the stars. It was strange because she had macular and couldn't see my face, but she could see the stars. And we must have thought of ourselves in the stars and how at night you need someone to hold and remind you you aren't alone in the universe. So we held each other, and old felt good. When the book and movie Our Souls at Night came out, I felt like it had been written just about us. I'd written a poem before that. This is called Morning Song. Sometimes I wake up singing. The morning sky's blue. The morning birds are winging. My thoughts are thoughts of you. of those happy days together, of the days when love was new, when tomorrow was forever, and forever was with you. This book is called The Turquoise Sea, and it has a little bit of everything in it. Some about discovery, some about love, and some other things. This is called The Turquoise Sea. I dreamed treasure's hiding place was like the snow-white strand between a jeweled turquoise sea and some exotic land. And in my dream, the sea had gone 1 billion years ago, but still I'd find a treasured lair. For looking, I would know that some things tell of vanished seas and some of vanished land. And finding both, I'd look between and find a hidden strand. And in the strand, a treasure trove, the vision promised me. But morning's finger touched the dream that held the vanished sea, and suddenly space changed to time, and in between to now. And there I found the treasured strand. The likeness showed me how. That poem's about an actual exploration project, and then at the end, it sees a relationship between that and life. This is called The Castaways. I should say that I was a mineral exploration geologist. Spent my career thinking about how to look for various minerals and then helping look for them. The castaways. A saying in the search for gold was gold is where you find it, that nature has chaotic rules or none at all to bind it. But things have turned out differently, though no one would have dreamed as much, for who could dream that this would be? That these two mine walls, which I see, and reaching widely, I can touch, were once two drifting castaways from island arc and ocean floor. That Friday-like and Crusoe-like, they washed upon our western shore to find their other castaways, and with them form a new domain where there had been no land before. And gold, which seemed a random thing, scattered by some power above, is really golden filigree that binds two strangers caught by love. And this is called A New Day. When I was young, I searched, and suddenly a likeness solved a mystery. And since that day of days, I've known my way as sure as any star's trajectory. For I hear a voice within me say, for every earthly treasure you would find first a hidden likeness in your mind, and all the covering waste will fall away, and suddenly what is and what might be will blaze forth like the dawn of a new day. This is called Scarlet Gilia. It's a little plant with red blossoms that blossoms in the late summer, early fall up on Grand Mesa. In the torn earth along a mountain road, where progress had made nature a confusion of scarred and upturned rocks and roots laid bare, I found the scarlet Gilia in profusion, as if it were its native meadowland. There seemed to be more there than anywhere, as if it meant to prove some vital point or send some message I could understand. Whether its intent, I didn't know, its language being different from ours, but it seemed to be that it was telling me, by its presence in a place tormented so, that rough and stony as may be my hours, they will blossom like a meadow full of flowers. This is what Tracy found. Just looking at the clay, how did she know? Did something call her by her name or sing? Some hidden being there, waiting there below the smooth and wordless surface of the thing, to be brought back, to be alive again? Some hidden likeness to something she knew, some vision of her past, someone she'd been, some truth. It was as she had seen through a mirror to a secret world behind, and by a sleight of hand made that world be, a new world with its treasure still to find. And so she saw where no one else could see, and moving all the covering dross away, found Aphrodite in a block of clay. Tracy in the poem is Tracy Munson here in Cedaredge. She's a sculptress, and she has a sculpture of a reclining girl. It's still in clay with the chips underneath it at the base. I think it's beautiful. One of the things on my bucket list is to help Tracy get that cast in bronze. But for now, it's still in clay and in a poem. Providence. There's a certain kind of providence that lets us feel the crimson, green, and gold. The mountains, shaded